and welcome to this full moon in Virgo yoga class with me, Dee. The full moon is a time of culmination and the promise of fulfillment of that which was started at the new moon. This full moon is special because it's also occurring during a lunar eclipse. Lunar eclipses are about relationships and polarities. And with this occurring on the Virgo-Pisces axis, this lunar eclipse urges us to examine our needs, lacks, and wants concerning the balance between day-to-day life and our spiritual selves. The key to balance lies in identifying and expressing our spiritual needs while maintaining order in our everyday lives. The zodiac sign of Virgo is associated with the vishuddha or throat chakra, and it rules over our nervous system and intestines. With all this in mind, I've created today's sequence to aid in calming the nervous system, releasing blocked energy, and to explore the tired narratives that are tied to our health, well-being, and self-awareness. This class includes asana, pranayama, mudra, and a guided meditation. For this class, you may consider having blocks or a stack of books, a thick towel or blanket, and a strap or hand towel. The blocks and thick blanket or towel can be used to help bring the earth up to you. The strap can be used to extend your reach in some poses. When you're ready, I welcome you to gather your props, hop into something comfy, and we'll get started. I welcome you to begin class in a comfortable seated position on your mat. You can have the legs crossed, one foot in front of the other, or you could sit on a blanket or block to help raise the hips. Do what works best for you in this moment. As we transition into this practice, I want to note that you are the master of your own body. I am solely a guide. If there is ever a time during this class, or any yoga class for that matter, that you feel pain, strain, or emotionally distraught, please honor yourself and do what is needed to take care of you. As you're ready in your comfortable seated position, Sukhasana, I invite you to practice a mudra with me. This mudra is called the Shepana mudra. The Sanskrit word Shepana translates to let go or release. To practice it, interlace the middle, ring, and little fingers of both hands with each other. Place the index fingers against each other and cross the thumbs, placing each in the hollow of the other thumb. Once you have this, point the index fingers toward the earth. If you'd like, you can close down the eyes or have a soft gaze at a point a few inches in front of you. I invite you now to take note of your breath. Notice how it feels going in and out of your nostrils. Notice the subtle movements your body makes as you breathe naturally. As you take note of the breath, I invite you to acknowledge the land on which you reside and the people who have stewarded this land throughout generations. If you know the name of these peoples, you can name them now. If you don't know their names, that's okay. You can take time after class to research. I currently reside on the unceded territory of the Osage and Quapaw tribes, colonized as the state of Arkansas. Let us also acknowledge the land of yoga's origin, India, and all the teachers and students who have kept this spiritual wisdom alive for us to be able to practice here today. When you're ready, you can release the mudra and allow the eyes to flutter open if they aren't already. We will now practice the Brahmari pranayam, or bumblebee breath. I will model it for you, and then we can practice it together. To practice this pranayam, place the thumbs over each ear, closing them. Close down the eyes and allow the fingers to gently rest over the eyelids and face. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling, creating a humming sound with the mouth closed. The sound is quite similar to the noise of a flying bumblebee. As you're ready, let's do this together 3 times. Place your thumbs in the ears, closing down the eyes, covering them with the fingers. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, hum. Once you finish your last exhale, you can release the breath, placing the hands on the thighs, knees, or in your lap, wherever feels good. I welcome you now to take note of how you're feeling. Notice if it's different from when you first started this class or not. If the eyes are still closed, you can open them now and we will begin to make some movements. Again, note that I am the teacher, a guide. This means you are the master of your own body and your own experience. Always listen to your inner guide first and take my guidance as suggestion. If there is ever any pain or strain, release the pose and listen to what your body has to say. When you're ready, inhale, reach crown to sky. Exhale, ground down into your seat. On your next exhale, reach the right ear toward the right shoulder, any amount. Breathe. Inhale back to center. Exhale the left ear toward the left shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, chin towards chest, any amount. Breathe. Inhale back to center. Exhale, chin toward the ceiling with the mouth closed if possible, and breathe. Inhale back to center. On your next inhale, reach hands towards the ceiling. Exhale, twist to the left, placing the right hand on the left knee, left hand behind you on earth. If you can't touch the mat, you can always place the left hand on the lower back. Inhale, reach crown to sky. Exhale deeper into the twist if it feels good. Exhale back to center. Inhale, hands to the ceiling. Exhale, twist to the right. Left hand on right knee, right hand behind you or on your lower back. Exhale back to center. Inhale, hands toward the ceiling. Exhale, left hand on the mat as the right reaches up and over any amount. Gaze can be at the left or right hand, chest opening towards sky. Breathe. Inhale, hands toward the ceiling. Exhale, right hand to the mat. Left reaches up and over. Chest opening, gazing up or down. Your choice. Exhale back to center. Inhale, reach the left foot out in front of you, foot flexed. Exhale, bring the bottom of the right foot to the inner left thigh. Inhale, crown to sky. Exhale, forward, hinging at the hips, any amount that feels good. Hands can reach towards the left ankle or foot as you reach your chest toward your knee. Left leg can be slightly bent here if it feels good. And breathe. Exhale, chest up back to a neutral spine. I invite you now to bring the right foot flat on the earth with the knee bent. Bring the right foot as close to your buttocks as feels good. Now you've got three options here. Option 1, hug the right knee with both arms wrapped around it. Inhale, crown to sky. Exhale, forehead toward the right knee, keeping the left foot flexed. Option 2, inhale, both hands towards sky. Exhale, twisting to the right. Right hand on the mat behind you. Left elbow comes to the outside of the right knee. Inhale, crown to sky. Exhale, deeper into the twist. Option 3, inhale, wrap the left arm around the right shin. Exhale, twist the torso toward the right with the right hand on the mat behind you. Inhale, crown to sky. Exhale into the twist. No matter which option you chose, take 2 more breaths in this shape. As you're ready, exhale back to center. We'll do the same thing on the right now. Inhale, reach the right foot out, flexed. Exhale, bottom of left foot towards the right inner thigh. Inhale, crown to sky. Exhale, forward any amount, placing the hands wherever feels best. Breathe. Exhale up to a neutral spine. Keeping the right foot flexed, bring the bottom of the left foot to the mat with the knee still bent. Choose which option you'd like to practice here, asking your body what it wants. Option 1, hugging the knee. Option 2, twisting with the elbow to the knee. Or option 3, the hug and twist. As you move into this shape, don't forget to breathe. Exhale, returning to center. Extend the left foot out to meet the right. Inhale, crown to sky. Exhale, forward any amount. Knees can be bent as much as you like here. Hands can stay on the sides of the legs, or they can reach for the feet or toes. Breathe here in Paschimottanasana for 2 more breaths. Exhale back to center. As you're ready, let's meet in Brahmanasana, or tabletop position. Be gentle with yourself as you move here. Align the shoulders over wrists and hips over knees. On your next inhale, allow the belly to drop towards the mat, crown and tailbone reaching towards the ceiling. Exhale, round the back, crown and tailbone to mat. Inhale, belly drops. Exhale, arch the back. Continue this Marjariasana and Vittalasana Vinyasa, or cat-cow flow, for 3 more breaths at your own pace. As you're ready, on your next exhale, release the flow, coming to a neutral spine in Barmanasana or tabletop. Inhale. Exhale, reach the hips towards sky, pushing into the palms. Legs can be bent as much as you like here in our first Adho Mukha Shavasana, or downward dog. If you'd like, you can join me in pedaling out the feet here, pressing one heel towards the mat and then the other. Exhale, come to stillness if you aren't already there. Inhale, shift your weight to the right foot, extending the left off the mat any amount. Keep the hips square to the mat and breathe. Exhale the left foot back down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, shift your weight to the left foot, extending the right towards the ceiling any amount that feels good, and hold the shape for a few breaths. Exhale the right foot back down. Inhale, bend the knees and look forward. Exhale, make your way to Uttanasana or forward fold at the top of the mat. Feet can be hip width apart or wider. Press the heels into the mat and allow the neck to relax. Maybe you experiment with nodding your head yes and no. Exhale, bend the knees generously. Inhale, roll through the spine slowly, allowing the head to come into alignment last. Now I invite you to bring your feet together, touching each other if it feels good. Bring the palms together, interlacing all the fingers. Exhale the palms out in front of you. Inhale the palms towards the ceiling, palms facing up. Inhale, reach the palms up. Exhale the shoulders down and back. If it feels good here, you can lift the heels up, coming onto the balls of the feet on your inhale, coming down on your exhale. Hold this Tadasana variation for 3 more breaths. As you're ready, exhale, hinge at the hips as you lean forward and down into Uttanasana or forward fold. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, place the hands on the outside of the feet. Exhale one foot and then the other back into Adho Mukha Shavasana, downward dog. Inhale, shift forward, bringing shoulders over your wrists. If needed, you can walk your toes back to form a straight line. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, push into the palms, reach the hips towards sky. Inhale, exhale. Inhale back into plank, shifting forward the shoulders over the wrists. Continue this Adho Mukha Shavasana, Kumbha Kasana Vinyasa for 3 more rounds at your own pace. 1 round of breath per pose. On your last downward dog, hold this shape for 2 breaths. Inhale forward into plank. Exhale the knees gently down to the mat, following the chest and the head. With the hands under your shoulders, inhale, push into the palms and reach forward and up with your torso, squeezing the shoulders together. Gaze can be up or straight forward. Exhale the torso down to the mat. Inhale. Exhale, reaching hips towards your heels into Balasana or Child's Pose. You can have your knees together and your arms at your sides, palms facing up, or your knees can be as wide as the mat with your arms extended. Take a moment here to rest. As you're ready, come into Varmanasana or tabletop. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Inhale, reach your left foot towards the ceiling, arching your back and look up. Exhale, bring your chin toward your chest, left knee toward your nose, rounding your back. Inhale, foot and gaze up. Exhale, knee towards nose, arching the back. Continue this Vyagrasana, Vinyasa, or Tiger Flow for 2 more rounds. Come back to Varmanasana and we'll do the same on the right now. Inhaling your right foot towards the ceiling, looking up. Exhaling, knee towards nose. Inhale up. Exhale, knee toward nose. 2 more rounds at your own pace. On your last exhale, come back to Varmanasana, tabletop. Inhale. Exhale. Reach your left foot towards sky and grasp your foot with the right hand. If you'd like, you can utilize the strap here, wrapping it around the left foot and holding the other end of the strap with your hand. If you don't have a strap, this is where the hand towel can come in. Press the top of your foot into the hand or strap or towel and lift your leg a bit higher if it feels good. Gently arch the spine and gaze up or straight ahead. Hold this shape for 3 breaths. Exhale, releasing the pose gently. And we will do the same thing on the right side now. Reach your right foot up towards the ceiling, grabbing a hold of it with your hand, the strap, or the towel. Press the foot into your hand or strap, lifting your leg higher if it feels good. Gently arching the back and gaze up or straight ahead. Breathe. Exhale, releasing the pose. Take your time here, being gentle with yourself, and come to lying on your stomach. Place your arms by your sides, palms facing up. Rest your chin or forehead on the mat. There are two options for this next shape. Option 1, on your next inhale, lift your head, chest, arms, and legs off the mat. Draw your shoulders back and broaden your chest, gazing straight ahead. Option 2, bend your legs and reach back to grasp both feet with your hands or your strap. Lift your chest and knees, grounding through the abdomen. Knees can stay hip-width apart, and draw your shoulders away from your ears, gazing straight ahead. Whichever shape you've decided on, take 3 more breaths here. On your next exhale, release the pose, coming to lying on your stomach once more. Take a moment to rest here. If you like, you can make a pillow with the hands to rest the forehead on. As you're ready, let's meet seated in a kneeling position. Once you arrive, lower your forehead to the earth, as close to your knees as feels good. Reach back to grasp your heels with your hands or place them next to the feet on the earth. Lift your hips up and roll forward, rounding your back until your arms straighten. Breathe in this sasangasana or rabbit shape for 3 more breaths. On your next exhale, release the pose, coming into Brahmanasana or tabletop. Exhale, melt your chest towards the ground while sliding your palms forward. Keep your hips above your knees, placing your chin or forehead on the mat. Take 3 breaths here in Anahatasana or melting heart pose. Exhale, come back to lying on your stomach. Take your time and be gentle with yourself. As you arrive on your stomach, bring your hands next to your chest and bring the knees slightly wider than hip width. Inhale, push into your palms and reach forward and up with your torso. Bend your knees and bring your big toes toward each other, touching if it feels good. Reach your head back toward your feet and draw your shoulders away from your ears, opening the chest. It may feel nice here to place blocks under the hands. Note that it is absolutely okay if your toes do not touch or your head doesn't touch your feet. Continue reaching these places toward each other as long as there is no pain or strain. Breathe here in Raja Bhujangasana or King Cobra for 2 more breaths. Exhale, release the legs back to the mat first, and gently bring the chest back down to the mat. Cross your arms in front of you and rest one cheek on your hands or forearms. Keep your feet relaxed here as you breathe and notice any sensations happening within the body. When you're ready, come to a seated position on the mat with your legs out in front of you. Inhale, bring the bottom of the left foot to the mat, bending the knee. Bring your right foot underneath your bent leg, heel touching or close to the left hip. Place your left foot on the outside of the left thigh, your left hand behind you. Inhale, crown to sky. Exhale, twisting to the left. Breathe here in Ardha Matsyendrasana, or half Lord of the Fishes, for 3 breaths. Exhale, come back to center with legs extended in front of you. Inhale, bring the bottom of the right foot to the mat, bending the knee. Bring your left foot underneath the bent leg, heel close to your right hip. Place your right foot on the outside of the left thigh and the right hand behind you. Inhale, crown to sky. Exhale into the twist. Breathe. Exhale, release the pose, and find your way to Barmanasana or tabletop. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Bend the elbows, placing the forearms on the mat parallel to the edges. Clasp the hands together, leaving the elbows underneath your shoulders. Lift your hips up, keeping the knees on the earth. Position your knees slightly behind your hips. Inhale, curl your toes under. Exhale, lift your hips up and back. Stay here, breathing, or on your next inhale, reach your torso forward, reaching your chin to the ground in front of your hands. Exhale, move your torso back to the starting position with your hips back and up. Repeat this Ardha Pincha Mayurasana Vinyasa for 2 more rounds. Again, you can always just stay in this dolphin pose without shifting forward and back. On your next exhale, release the pose or flow, coming to Barmanasana. Once you arrive in Barmanasana or tabletop, inhale, curl your toes under. Exhale your hips to sky into Adho Mukha Shavasana or downward dog. Inhale, Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees and look forward. Walk, jump, or float your feet to the top of your mat. We will meet in Uttanasana or forward fold. Feet can be as wide or as close as you like. Legs can be straight or bent. Exhale, allowing your head and neck to relax. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, slowly roll up the spine. Hands can be at the sides. Inhale, reach crown to sky. Exhale, grounding down into the feet. Bring your feet hip width apart if they aren't already there, and find a non-moving point in front of you to gaze at. Exhale, the hands to hips. Inhale, shift your weight to the right foot. Exhale, lift the left foot off the mat. You can place it next to the arch of the right foot, on your right calf, or on your thigh above the knee. Engage the core as you breathe and balance here in Vrikshasana, or tree pose. If you'd like, you can always use a wall, a sturdy chair, or the edge of a table to help with balance. Exhale your left foot to the mat. And if you'd like, you can shake out the right leg a bit. As you're ready, we'll do the same on the other side. Standing feet hip width apart. Find your drishti or your gaze. Hands can be on the hips or in prayer position at heart center, at your chest. Inhale, shift your weight to the left foot and place the right foot wherever feels best, on the mat, the calf, or the thigh. Engage your core and breathe. Exhale, bring your right foot back down to the mat and shake out your left leg if you think it would feel good. Let's meet in the middle of the mat now. Inhale, arms out wide, palms down. Exhale, shift your feet to be just under your elbows. Inhale, reach crown toward the ceiling. Exhale, ground down into the feet. Continue to reach the hands away from the torso. If you'd like, you can spread the fingers wide here. Engage the legs without locking the knees, and breathe in Uddita Tadasana, or five-pointed star. Exhale, bring hands to hips. Hinging at the hips, lean forward any amount. Hands can be on your calves, on blocks, on the mat in line with the arches of your feet, or you can experiment with reaching through the legs behind the feet. If it feels good, bring your head to the earth and breathe. On your next exhale, shift your feet closer to hip width apart, and as you're ready, bring the hips down toward the mat, coming into a squat. If the heels don't touch the mat, you can place a thick blanket or towel underneath. You could also sit on a block here and or practice this pose against a wall. Find what feels good here in Malasana or Yogi Squat. While in this shape, we will practice the Shimhasa Pranayam or lion's breath. I will model it for you once, and then we can practice it together 3 times. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth, reaching the tongue out long with an audible sigh. Eyes are wide. When you're ready, let's inhale together through the nose. Exhaling out the mouth. Inhale. Exhale. Last time. Inhale. Exhale. Release the pranayam and take 2 more rounds of breath here at your own pace. As you're ready, gently come out of this pose, removing any props, and we will meet on our backs. As you arrive on your back, I invite you to bring the ankles under your knees, about hip width apart, if that feels good. Bring the arms to the sides of the body, palms down. Inhale. Exhale, press through the arms and shoulders to lift your pelvis and chest up towards your head. Chin reaches toward the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, slowly lower your hips, 1 vertebrae at a time, back to the mat. Inhale, reach the hips towards the ceiling, squeezing your glutes. Exhale, back down slowly. 1 more time. Inhale, hips up, holding this Setu Bandhasana or bridge pose for 3 breaths. On your last exhale, slowly lower your hips to the mat. Extend your legs out long, bringing them close together. Place your hands underneath your hips, palms down. Exhale, press your elbows into the mat and lift your chest up towards the ceiling. Tilt your head back slightly if it feels good. If you'd like, let the crown of the head rest on the mat. Breathe here in Matsyasana or fish pose. On your next exhale, lift the head, straightening your elbows, coming back to lying on your back. Inhale. Exhale. Take your time being gentle with yourself as you come to a kneeling position. You have 3 options here. Option 1, place the hands behind you, fingers either facing toward or away from you, palms down. Inhale. Exhale, reach the hips slightly forward, buttocks staying on the heels. Reach your chest up and open towards the ceiling and allow your head to tilt back if that feels nice. Option 2. Come to standing, kneeling position. Place a block on the outside of each foot. Inhale, palms to sky. Exhale, place one hand on the block and then the other. Reach your hips forward toward the top of the mat. Chest is open towards the ceiling. Head can be back if that feels good. And their last option here is to curl the toes under, come to a kneeling position. Inhale, hands to ceiling. Exhale, one hand to the heel and then the other. No matter which variation of Ustrasana you chose, reach your hips forward and allow your chest to open towards the ceiling. Breathe. Exhale, slowly coming out of the pose. And I invite you now to make your way to lying on your back once more. Legs extended, arms at the sides, palms down. There are a few options for this next shape as well. Option 1, press your hands into the earth, raising your feet towards the ceiling, ensuring your feet are over your knees, knees over hips. Option 2, press your hands into the mat and raise your hips off the earth, reaching your feet towards the ceiling. You can bring the hands to the lower back if it feels good for support. Option 3, press your hands into the mat and roll your legs backward over your head. Slowly straighten your legs and aim to bring your feet to the ground behind you. You can always stack your blocks and place them above your head as a stand for the feet to meet. No matter which option you chose, breathe here for a few more breaths. On your next exhale, engage your core and slowly bring your feet towards the mat, legs extended. Inhale, bring the knees toward your chest. Exhale, both your knees towards the left. Shoulders stay in contact with the mat, and the gaze can go towards the right if it feels good. Inhale, knees back to center. Exhale, both your knees towards the right now, shoulders still in contact with the mat as you gaze towards the left. Exhale, your knees back to center and extend your legs out. Allow the whole body to relax here. With each inhale, find any tension, and with each exhale, letting that tension go. For the remainder of this class, I'll be guiding you through a meditation. If you'd like, you can stay where you are, or if you prefer, you can find a comfortable seated position with your spine long. As you breathe naturally, I invite you to bring your attention to the breath. Notice how it feels going in and out of your nostrils. Notice the subtle movement that your body makes as you breathe. I will begin to ask you some questions regarding how the themes of the earth sign of Virgo relate to your life currently. After I propose the question, I invite you to keep your attention on your breath and allow the answer to arise on its own. It may come as a word or phrase. You might see an image or a memory. It could come as a sensation within the body, and nothing may arise at all. No matter what happens or doesn't, keep your attention on the breath and just notice. You always have the option to journal on these questions after class if you'd prefer. I'll add these questions to the description box below. In regard to your health and well being, what isn't working for you anymore? Are there habits, thought patterns, actions, or beliefs that no longer serve you or your growth? Is there anything that is keeping you tied to these ineffective patterns? How conscious are you of your own character, feelings, motives, and desires? Do you struggle with identifying these, or do you focus too much on them? Is there anything regarding your self awareness that doesn't work for you anymore? What is your relationship with grounding? Have you ever practiced grounding before? Or is it something you do on a regular basis? If you've ever practiced before, ask your body, how might it feel if I ground myself daily? If you practice it often, ask yourself, what, if any, grounding practices no longer provide the benefits that they used to? As you continue to breathe naturally, I invite you to acknowledge all the things that came up for you that are no longer serving. Imagine with each inhale, you gather the energy within the body that are connected to these things. And on the exhale, releasing them into the air. Inhale to gather. Exhale to release. Continue with this visualization connected with the breath for a few more moments. I'll let you know when it's time to come back. On your next exhale, release the visualization tied to the breath. As you're ready, you can begin to make small, gentle movements. Maybe you wiggle your fingers and toes. Do some wrist rolls or ankle rolls. Follow what feels good and be gentle with yourself. When you're ready, you can bring your feet flat to the mat with your knees bent. Begin to roll to your favorite side using your arm as a pillow. And as you lie here, I welcome you to offer some gratitude. Maybe you offer gratitude for taking the time to connect with your mind and body, or gratitude for being able to move your body. Maybe it feels good to offer gratitude to the moon. As you're ready, bring the top hand palm down in front of your chest. Push into the palm and raise yourself up to a seated position. Inhale, arms toward the ceiling. Exhale, palms together and down the midline to your chest. If you'd like, you can bow the forehead to the tips of the fingers. And if the eyes are still closed, allow them to gently flutter open. Begin to take in your surroundings, noticing colors, textures, maybe the temperature of the room. I am honored that you joined me for this full moon in Virgo yoga practice. Let me know how you got on in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss out on future moon yoga classes. Blessed be.